welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Games of Pi. On this episode, I'm gonna try my best to teach you how to balance your camera on the Cinepeer 3E. Let's get it going. Right, so first things first. Obviously, you've kind of like, if you watch a previous video, obviously you unbox your Cinepeer, you screw the tripod underneath, okay, you open it, you put it on your table nicely. Now, the Cinepeer in the casing, it would come with a metal plate. Let me just unlock quickly that stuff around. So we come with the base plate, in which we will. Let me actually see if I can get out of here. You can see it closer. All right, so base plate comes with a quarter thread screw that can be used with a flat, or they give you actually an hexagon kind of like Allen type of key. You screw that on. I've just put it at the base of my camera so it matches the end of it. Screw it in, and then, so next step. Once you have your Cinepeer on the table, it will probably most likely be unbalanced, right? So what do you call it? So there'll be three locks you want to lock in to start with. So there's one just on the base over here, which we're going to lock. It's all for the different axes. One is for back here, for the swing of the arm. If it doesn't lock, you just need to wiggle it a bit and it will lock into place, and then it won't go anywhere. And then the last one will be the swivel over here. And that should be looking something like that when you start anyways. Now, we're going to place the camera on it. There'll be a little button here if you ever need to undo, well, release the plate, as you say. And it will kind of automatically lock into place once it goes on it. So it's safe and secure and it's not going anywhere. Now, let's see if we can do that gently. Okay, there was a click. So, right. At the moment, everything is locked. So all three locks are locked, right? So that's that. I'm going to unlock the first lock, which is our side lock just over here. Just over here. So I'm going to undo that. And you're going to notice if I done, yeah. So, because the camera is a big setup, right? So it's an A7 IV with a 35mm G master lens, right? So 1.5 kg, 1 point something overall, with a cage, with a Rhino cage as well. So a bit of extra weight there. Obviously, as you can see, if it tilts automatically like that, straight up, you already know it's a front heavy setup. Not just setup, sorry, it's just front heavy. And it's also, that means that our base plate is way too far forward. So I'll twist a little bit like that. There is two levers at the back of it. There's one over here, one over here. One of them adjusts the how far back and from the plate moves, and the other one adjusts how far this base plate moves left and right on this axis, right? So we're gonna leave that for now. We're gonna first of all try to balance our camera in terms of level. So I unlocked it. I'm gonna push back just ever slightly. Right, and I already feel that it's tilted forward, so I'm gonna keep pushing back. Less and less now. I'll do a test there. It's tilting not as much, but I will do. There is like a millimeter literally thing measurement here, but you can already tell that this needs to be like literally like micro adjustments going on for it. So that seems okay for now. If I tilt it upwards, it stays on its own, which is great. That's what we want anyways. If for whatever reason you have a little bit of a tilt on the back, so obviously you want the first test once you think you've done it, right? The first test you want to do, tilt it on a 45 degree, tilt it on an up, and a 45 degree down. And then if it's the camera stays there, amazing. We have achieved the first step. So that's step number one. I'm going to leave it for that. I might have to go back into it once I start changing a couple of things, but step number one, done. Step number two. We're going to unlock the back lock over here. So if for whatever reason the camera is, most likely will happen to it, it will be tilting So if I can show you, actually, it might be better. So I'm gonna on purposely unlock here. Somehow this was balanced now, but let's say it's too far out, right? So it's too far out on this axis. So it's too far out like that, right? So if I lock it, because whatever comes from the box, obviously it's not going to balance. So if it's too far out, obviously the camera will automatically tilt on its own like that. It won't be able to stay in leveled. How we fix that? We go here, we unlock, and then we push. It still does it, so I'm going to push a bit more. I want to try to come as necessary as far away from this spot here between my camera cage and the plate over there. I can still feel it pulling, so I'm going to have a little bit more, a little less. Let's do a little test there. So I'm going to try to lock this back. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Let me just have another look. Now, once we think we kind of got it right, you see, now I can see the camera tilting a little bit forward. So I'm going to try adjust that by pushing back a little, ever slightly, like just literally 1 millimeter. But now you can see the camera is going backwards. So literally we have to literally play with the micro adjustments till we get where we want. I know it's a painful process, but you just need to do that once for this camera, or for the camera you're going to be using anyway. So if it's whatever camera you're using for recording, right? So if you plan on using multiple setups, unfortunately, you're going to have to do that for every camera that you have, because obviously different weights, different dimensions, all that stuff, it affects it. That seems okay. And also it seems okay on this kind of axis, so I'm not really swinging. Now, a way to test if we've done this part correctly, right? If I twist the camera like that, and I leave it there, it should stay there. If I twist it like that, I leave it there. I can see that it's going back to its place. I'm going to try again. So most likely what's happened here is I've pushed too far in. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to push, it's literally just a millimeter out. I'm going to undo like that. That might be too much, but we're going to find out soon enough. So if I do it like that, amazing. If I do like this, stays there, great. So remember, how to test this is if we tilt forward 45 degrees, upwards, we'll leave it there, it will stay there, and 45 degree upwards like that, and it stays there. That means we achieved that level of balancing. Great, amazing. Second step of the balancing is the axis over here. You unlock that, and then you adjust basically how far out or in the camera will come till you achieve a perfect level. If the camera tilts like that or like that, that means it's too far in or out. How to test if we've done that correctly? If we twist it on purpose and we leave it there, it should stay there. Just stay that way on an angle, it should stay there. It shouldn't really go anywhere. Now, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lock this back on. I think that's how they do it. I'm gonna lock this back on. I'll leave this free. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna unlock this part over here of the arm. No, sorry, apologies. I'm not gonna unlock that. I'm gonna unlock the base, which is my last axis, which is the third point, right? So I'm gonna unlock it, and I'll have movement here, right? That's amazing. How to test if the camera is actually balanced on that part? Now, that's the most tricky one. I found it more difficult than do the other two. So step number 3, we're gonna grab our camera over handle, and we're gonna tilt it 45 degrees forward. Now, if the camera does that, that means it needs to be adjusted on this axis. That means the center of balance is not in line with the camera. And ideally, what we want to see, it kind of does it now a little bit. Once you have it on the angle, if you twist it like that, it will stay there. And if I twist it like that, it should stay. But you see, mine doesn't. It turns a little bit more. So which means I need to either... There's a lock here. There's a lock lever. So I'm going to unlock, and I'm going to push maybe a little bit, like a millimeter forward. So something like that. Microscopic style, like I'm talking about. You think, how much difference can that make? But, I see less of a turn now. Might be almost perfect, actually. Let's see over there. That does it. That's great. That's what we want as well. So ideally, when you have it, obviously I twist it up, but momentum and all that. So once I spin that and I leave it there, it should sit on its own. And if I do that, it should also sit on its own. Okay, that's good. All right, that's perfect. I think that's good enough anyways. Right, so so that's how you balance the Cinepeer 3E. So in 3 steps, not the easiest steps, but you know, it's it's this how this thing works, unfortunately. Now switch it on the, if it's charged, there should be some power into it. So there's a power button here and a menu button here. So if we press and hold the power button, the screen will come on. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to say. Now I'm gonna unlock all my axes. That's unlocked, and that's unlocked. Lovely, cool. So in theory, if I do that, I should really have a really stable footage. Now, there's a very clever function on this one. So it will, if you guys press the menu button, I'm gonna come with the 3 options. It's gonna be a motor, an advance, and a shutter. I don't know about this, but yeah, I'm not an expert, of course. Yeah, I'm just learning as I go along, like the rest of us. But the motor, if you so there's a little scroll wheel here. If you, that's also, that clicks in. So if you click that, also moves the asterisk up and down. If you click that, there's an auto option, a custom, and a level. So the auto will literally, if you just place the gimbal on the table and you're happy with how the gimbal looks, have another look, make sure I'm happy with it. Yep, happy with that. That's good. Last checks, gotta make sure. So power back on, and we go into the menu. We got our motor. I click the scroll wheel, and there's an auto option. Once you click that, the gimbal will auto balance. It's called an auto tune. So it will auto tune the thing. If you notice now, the camera shakes. So apparently that does, they adjust the motors for the weight of this setup in all axes. So left and right, up and down, and swivel and all that stuff. Bit of a wiggle. And once it's ready, it will have a tick. So it has a tick on the screen. That means it's ready to go. Go back on the menu. At the moment, it has the options for, there's a pan follow. And if you click, there's a menu button. If you click that, we're going to level, which I want to say keeps it on the same level. There's the follow. And what's the other one? Pan follow. Perfect. Now, if the gimbal is out of place like that, there is on the front here, there is the button. If you press that button, is it 2 times? It will literally resets the gimbal back to its original state. There's also this option that if you press it 3 times, it will turn around to do like a vlog type of thing. So if I do 1, 2, 3, it will turn to face me. Oh, whichever way, it's the handle basically facing right, doesn't matter. But yeah, so vloggers can use that as well. So I might be switching this for my tripod now for shots, so we're gonna see how that works out. But yeah, to be honest with you, very impressed. There is a little joystick obviously over here and a record button as well. If I want to go back, obviously I'm gonna press the button 3 times. It will go back to its original state. Yeah. In a nutshell, yeah, that's it really. Oh, sorry, good point. In case I didn't mention it, so there is a like a lever here, kind of like a screw lever. So that basically adjusts the height of this whole setup up and down. If for whatever reason, sorry, you have difficulties on the first step, that will probably show you. It's actually visible on the first step. If you can balance the front and back of the gimbal. Just turn that off quickly because I want it to be all freed up. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So if you can balance that part here, the lever going on, try unscrewing this a little bit, there is like a little silver plate that sits on it that will raise up a little bit. Don't be afraid, but that's part of it. And then what you need to do, you need to basically move that up here, and up or down, depending what it is. Go down first, see how that reacts, lock it up a little bit in place, and then try to do it. If it still doesn't do it, go up a little bit, lock it up again, and repeat the process. It's a little bit time consuming, I know. But once you do that, for that camera, I mean, probably that's going to be my main recording camera. I might have to switch. Do you know what? Yeah, maybe true. I might have to try it with my ZV-10 Mark II as well, which I'm recording right now. But yeah, anyway, so that's for that. Any questions? Yeah, feel free to drop us a message. I'll try answer whatever I can, and what I cannot, I'm gonna go and look it up and get back to you. But yeah, I've noticed that there is also a kind of a USB-C that kind of connects to the camera. That could be for you obviously use the cables that the Cinepeer comes with, and I think that you can actually adjust stuff like the joystick and maybe the record button. When you press the record from here, you don't have to actually go into the camera and press record. So all these little features. But hopefully that will give you a bit of an insight of how to do what to do. But yeah, thanks for coming and thanks for watching. And then guys, we'll see you into the next one. Take care.